The morning sun shone through the tall windows of Meridian Tailors on Fifth Avenue. Amanda Price stood behind the polished counter, checking her watch. It was only 10 in the morning, but she had already sold 2 expensive suits to wealthy businessmen. She loved working at the most expensive suit store in the city. Rich people came here every day, and Amanda knew how to spot them right away. She looked at herself in the mirror behind the counter. Her black dress was perfect, her hair was neat, and her smile was ready for the next customer. Amanda was good at her job because she could tell who had money just by looking at them. Rich people wore expensive watches, carried designer bags, and walked with confidence. Poor people looked nervous and out of place. The bell above the door rang as someone walked in. Amanda looked up and saw a man with long dark hair and a worn leather jacket. His jeans looked old and his boots were scuffed. He had a beard and looked tired, like he had been traveling for a long time. Amanda rolled her eyes. Another person who had walked into the wrong store. The man looked around the shop quietly. He seemed calm and not in a hurry. Amanda watched him from behind the counter, waiting for him to realize he could not afford anything here and leave. But he did not leave. Instead, he walked toward the suits hanging on the wall. Amanda sighed and walked over to him. She put on her fake smile, the one she used for people she did not want to help. "Can I help you?" she asked in a cold voice. The man turned to her and smiled. His smile was warm and kind. "Yes, please. I need to look at your best suits. I have an important event coming up." Amanda almost laughed. This man in his old clothes wanted to buy their best suits. She looked him up and down again. His jacket was really old, and she could see holes in his jeans. "Our best suits start at $5,000, she said, hoping he would get scared and leave. The man nodded. "That sounds reasonable. Can you show me what you have?" Amanda was surprised but not impressed. Maybe he was trying to impress someone or pretend he had money. She had seen this before. People came in, looked at expensive things, took pictures, and then left without buying anything. "Well," Amanda said slowly, "maybe you should look at our more affordable options first. We have some nice suits over there." She pointed to the corner where they kept the cheaper suits. The man looked where she pointed, then looked back at her. "I really need your finest suits. The event is very important, and I want to look my best." Amanda shook her head. This guy did not understand. She decided to be more direct. "Sir, our finest suits cost more than most people make in a month. Are you sure you can afford them? Maybe you should try the department store down the street. They have suits that might be more in your price range." The man did not get angry. He just kept smiling that kind smile. "I understand you want to make sure I am serious, but I really do need to see your best suits. Money is not a problem." Amanda looked at his clothes again. His jacket was definitely old, probably from a thrift store. His jeans had holes, and his boots looked like he had been walking in mud. She could not believe he was still pretending he could buy expensive suits. "Look," she said, not trying to be polite anymore. "I can tell when someone belongs here and when they don't. You don't look like our usual customers. Our suits are made by the best tailors in Europe. They cost more than some cars. I don't think you understand what you're asking for." The man listened to everything she said. He did not get upset or raise his voice. Instead, he asked, "What kind of fabric do you use for your suits?" Amanda was surprised by the question. "We use the finest wool from Scotland and silk from Italy, but I don't think you need to worry about those details." "What about the thread count?" the man asked. "And do you hand-stitch the buttonholes?" Now Amanda was really surprised. These were good questions that showed he knew something about good suits. But she was still sure he could not afford anything in the store. "Yes, we hand-stitch everything," she said. "But like I said, these suits are very expensive. Maybe you should think about it and come back later when you're ready to make a real purchase." The man nodded and walked closer to the most expensive suits. He looked at them carefully, touching the fabric gently. Amanda watched him, getting more annoyed. He was wasting her time when she could be helping real customers. Just then, she heard footsteps behind her. Carl Martinez, the store manager, was walking toward them quickly. His face looked worried, and his eyes were wide as he stared at the man in the leather jacket. Carl Martinez stopped walking when he saw the man in the leather jacket. His face went white like he had seen a ghost. Amanda noticed her manager's strange reaction and wondered what was wrong with him. Carl was always calm and professional, but now he looked scared and nervous. "Mr. Reeves," Carl said in a quiet, respectful voice. "I am so sorry. I did not know you were here." Amanda's mouth fell open. "Mr. Reeves?" She looked at the man again, studying his face more carefully. The long, dark hair, the beard, the calm way he stood. Her heart started beating fast as she realized who he was. This was Keanu Reeves, the famous actor from all those movies. She had been so focused on his old clothes that she missed his face completely. "Oh my God!" Amanda whispered to herself. She felt embarrassed and stupid. She had just been rude to one of the most famous people in the world. Keanu smiled at Carl. "It's okay. No harm done. I just need a good suit for an important meeting." Carl nodded quickly. "Of course, sir. We will take care of everything right away." He turned to Amanda with sharp eyes. "Amanda, please prepare our private fitting room immediately." Amanda's face turned red. She had made a terrible mistake. Not only had she been rude to a customer, but that customer was a celebrity who could probably buy the entire store if he wanted to. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Reeves," Amanda said quickly. "I didn't recognize you. I should have been more helpful." Keanu waved his hand gently. "Don't worry about it. These things happen." But Carl still looked very worried. He kept glancing around the store, like he was looking for something or someone. Amanda noticed he was sweating even though the store was not hot. "Sir," Carl said to Keanu, "should I call ahead to let them know about the fitting? And do you need me to check the protocols?" Amanda was confused. What protocols? It was just a suit fitting. Why was Carl acting so strange? She had worked at the store for 3 years and had never seen him act like this with any customer, not even the richest ones. Keanu's phone started buzzing in his pocket. He pulled it out and looked at the screen. For just a moment, his relaxed expression changed. His eyes became focused and serious, like he was switching from one person to another. "Excuse me for a minute," Keanu said politely. "I need to take this call." He walked toward the corner of the store and answered his phone. Amanda could not hear everything he was saying, but she caught some words that made no sense to her. "Yes, I understand the timeline," Keanu said quietly into the phone. "The coordinates are confirmed? Good. And the council meeting is still scheduled for tomorrow?" Amanda looked at Carl, hoping he could explain what was happening. But Carl was watching Keanu carefully, like he was guarding him. "Carl, what's going on?" Amanda whispered. "Why are you acting so weird? I know I made a mistake, but you're scaring me." Carl grabbed her arm gently, but firmly. "Amanda, listen to me very carefully. There are things about this store and about certain customers that you don't know. Things that are much bigger than selling suits." "What do you mean?" Amanda asked. Before Carl could answer, they heard more of Keanu's phone conversation. His voice was still quiet, but some words were clear enough for Amanda to hear. "The Earth representative position is secure," Keanu said. "But we need to be careful about the next phase. Are the transport arrangements ready?" Amanda's eyes grew wide. Earth representative? Transport arrangements? What was he talking about? Carl saw her confusion and pulled her further away from Keanu. "Amanda, what I'm about to tell you must stay secret. Do you understand? This is bigger than you can imagine." Amanda nodded, even though she did not understand anything that was happening. "Mr. Reeves is not just an actor," Carl whispered. "His work here, his real work, is much more important than movies. And this store, our store, is part of something much bigger than selling clothes to rich people." "I don't understand," Amanda said. "What are you talking about?" Keanu finished his phone call and walked back to them. But something about him had changed. He still looked calm and kind, but there was something else in his eyes now. Something that made Amanda think of deep space and distant stars. "Carl," Keanu said, "we need to move quickly. The timeline has been moved up. I need the suit by tonight, not tomorrow." Carl nodded seriously. "Of course, sir. Whatever you need." Amanda stood there feeling lost and confused. Nothing made sense anymore. 5 minutes ago, she thought she was dealing with a poor customer. Then she found out he was a famous actor. Now Carl and Keanu were talking like they were part of some secret organization. Keanu looked at Amanda with those strange, deep eyes. I think it's time she knew the truth. Amanda followed Carl and Keanu to the back of the store. She had never been in the private fitting room before. It was much larger than she expected, with mirrors everywhere and expensive furniture. But what surprised her most was the strange equipment in the corner. There were screens and devices that looked nothing like anything she had seen before. Carl pressed a button on the wall, and suddenly the room became very quiet. It was like all the sound from outside disappeared completely. Soundproof, Carl explained when he saw Amanda's confused face. For private conversations. Keanu sat down in one of the chairs and looked at Amanda. This is going to be hard to believe, he said, but I think you can handle it. Amanda's phone buzzed. She looked at it and saw a text from a friend asking if any celebrities had come to the store today. She started to type back that Keanu Reeves was there, but Carl quickly took the phone from her hands. No messages, Carl said firmly. Not about this. Why not? Amanda asked. People see celebrities all the time. It's not a big secret. This is different, Keanu said. Much different. Before Amanda could ask more questions, Keanu's phone rang again. This time, he did not move away to answer it. He put on speaker, so everyone could hear. John, are you secure? A voice asked. The voice sounded strange, like it was coming from very far away. Yes, I'm secure, Keanu answered. What's the update? The Galactic Council has moved the meeting to tonight. The Zephyrians are pushing for an immediate vote on the human question. They want Earth removed from the Alliance. Amanda's eyes went wide. Galactic Council? Earth removed from what alliance? These words made no sense. Do we have the support we need? Keanu asked. The Centaurians are still with us, and the Andromedans are neutral. But the Zephyrians have convinced 3 other species that humans are too dangerous. They're using the recent conflicts as evidence. I understand, Keanu said. I'll be ready. The voice continued. Remember, John, you are humanity's only voice in this. If we lose tonight, Earth will be cut off from the galactic community forever. No more protection, no more technology sharing, no more peace treaties. I won't let that happen, Keanu said. The call ended, and the room became very quiet. Amanda stood there with her mouth open, trying to understand what she had just heard. Galactic Council? She finally managed to say, What is that? Keanu looked at Carl, who nodded. Amanda, Keanu said slowly, Earth is not alone in the universe. There are many other planets with intelligent life. For the past 50 years, Earth has been part of a galactic alliance that keeps peace between different worlds. Amanda laughed. She could not help it. That's impossible. If aliens were real, everyone would know about it. It would be on the news. Most people can't handle the truth, Carl said. The governments of Earth decided long ago that only a few people should know. It's safer that way. But why you? Amanda asked Keanu. Why is a movie actor talking to aliens? Keanu smiled sadly. Because I'm not just a movie actor. I'm Earth's representative to the Galactic Council. I speak for all of humanity in meetings with other species. Amanda sat down hard in a chair. Her legs felt weak. This is crazy. You're both crazy. Watch this, Keanu said. He stood up and walked to the corner of the room. There was a heavy display case there, full of expensive watches. The case weighed at least 200 pounds. Without any effort, Keanu lifted it with one hand like it was made of paper. Amanda gasped. No human could do that. How? She whispered. The Alliance provides certain enhancements to representatives. Keanu explained as he gently set the case back down. Better strength, faster reflexes, longer life. It helps us do our job better. Your job? Protecting Earth, Keanu said. Making sure humanity stays safe and gets along with other species. It's not easy. Many aliens think humans are too violent and selfish to be trusted. Amanda thought about how she had treated Keanu when he first walked in. She had judged him by his clothes and been rude to him. She felt ashamed. Is that why you were taking that phone call? She asked. Someone wants to kick Earth out of this alliance? Yes, Keanu said. Tonight I have to convince the Galactic Council that humans deserve to stay, that we can learn and grow and be good neighbors to other species. But what if you can't convince them? Keanu's face became very serious. Then Earth will be alone again. And when other species decide we're too dangerous, there will be no one to protect us. Amanda realized that the fate of the entire world might depend on what happened in that meeting tonight. And it all depended on the man she had been rude to just an hour ago. Amanda could not stop staring at Keanu. Her mind was racing with questions. She turned to Carl, hoping he could help her understand everything. Carl, how long have you known about this? She asked. Carl walked over to one of the strange devices in the corner and turned it on. A blue light filled the room, and Amanda heard a soft humming sound. I've been working with the Alliance for 20 years, Carl said. My father worked with them before me, and his father before him. This store has been a safe meeting place for Earth's representatives since 1952. 1952? Amanda repeated. You mean aliens have been coming here for over 70 years? Not exactly, Keanu said. They don't come to Earth very often. It's too dangerous. But we need places where representatives can meet safely, get special equipment, and prepare for missions. Amanda looked around the room again. Now she understood why it looked so different from the rest of the store. The mirrors were not just mirrors. The strange devices were not decorations. This was some kind of secret base. So, you don't really sell suits to regular people? Amanda asked Carl. We do, Carl said. That's our cover. We're a real luxury suit store. But we also provide services for the Alliance. The suits we make for representatives are special. They have technology built into them that normal suits don't have. Keanu nodded. The suit I need tonight isn't just for looking good. It has translation devices, protection systems, and communication equipment. I'll be meeting with beings from 12 different worlds. Some of them breathe different air than humans. Some of them communicate through colors instead of sounds. Amanda's head was spinning. How many people know about this? On Earth? Maybe a few thousand. Keanu said. Presidents, some military leaders, certain scientists, and people like Carl and me who work directly with the Alliance. But why keep it secret? If aliens are friendly enough to have meetings with us, why not tell everyone? Carl and Keanu looked at each other. Carl spoke first. Amanda, think about how you treated Keanu when he walked in here today. You judged him by his clothes and decided he didn't belong. Now imagine how most humans would react if they knew about aliens. Amanda thought about this. She remembered how she had acted, and she felt ashamed again. People would be scared, she said quietly. Exactly, Keanu said. Some would want to fight the aliens. Others would want to worship them. Many would panic. The Alliance decided it was better to work with Earth's leaders quietly while humanity learned to be more accepting. But what about the movies you make? Amanda asked, Are those fake? Keanu smiled. The movies are real, but they're also cover stories. When I disappear for months to go on Alliance missions, people think I'm filming in secret locations. The action scenes help explain why I stay in such good shape and why I know how to fight. Amanda realized something. That's why you're so calm all the time. You've been dealing with alien politics for years. Dealing with different species teaches you patience, Keanu said. Some aliens live for thousands of years. They think very differently than humans. You have to learn to listen carefully and speak thoughtfully. Carl checked his watch. We need to start preparing. The meeting is in 6 hours, and we have a lot of work to do. He opened a hidden panel in the wall, and Amanda saw rows of suits that looked nothing like regular clothing. They were made of materials that seemed to shimmer and change color in the light. This is your suit, Carl said to Keanu, pulling out a dark blue outfit. It's been upgraded with the latest technology. Keanu examined the suit carefully. What about the translation matrix? Will it handle the Zephyrian dialect? Yes, and we've added extra protection against their sonic attacks, Carl said. They've been known to use sound as a weapon during arguments. Amanda watched them prepare and felt useless. Here was the most important meeting in human history happening tonight, and she was just a regular person who sold suits to rich people. Is there anything I could do to help? she asked. Keanu looked at her thoughtfully. Actually, there might be. Amanda, you represent something very important to the Alliance. You're a regular human who had never heard of any of this until today. Your reaction to learning the truth could help me understand how other humans might respond. What do you mean? The aliens are worried that humans are too quick to judge, too aggressive, and too selfish. But you've shown me that humans can also change their minds when they learn new information. That might be exactly what I need to prove to the Council tonight. Amanda realized that her mistake earlier might actually become part of saving the world. Keanu began changing into the special suit, while Amanda and Carl waited outside the fitting room. Amanda had so many questions she did not know where to start. Carl, how did Keanu become Earth's representative? She asked. I mean, why him and not a president or a scientist? Carl smiled. That's a good question. When the Alliance first contacted Earth, they tried working with world leaders and military people, but it didn't go well. The leaders were too focused on power and control. They wanted to use alien technology for weapons or to make their country stronger than others. So they chose an actor instead? They didn't choose him because he was an actor, Carl explained. They chose him because of who he is as a person. The aliens have ways of reading human emotions and thoughts. They can tell when someone is lying or has bad intentions. Amanda thought about this. What did they see in Keanu that was different? Kindness, Carl said simply. Real kindness that comes from inside, not fake politeness. They saw that he genuinely cares about other people, even strangers. He doesn't want power or fame. He just wants to help. Through the fitting room door, they could hear Keanu talking to someone on his phone again. This time he was speaking in a language that sounded like music mixed with wind chimes. Is he talking to aliens right now? Amanda whispered. Carl nodded. Probably the Centaurian ambassador. They're our strongest supporters in the Alliance. The door opened and Keanu stepped out wearing the special suit. Amanda gasped. The suit looked normal at first, but as Keanu moved, she could see tiny lights flowing through the fabric like liquid stars. The material seemed to respond to his movements, making him look graceful and powerful at the same time. How do I look? Keanu asked with a small smile. Like someone who could save the world, Amanda said without thinking. Keanu's expression became serious. Amanda, I want you to understand something important. I wasn't always Earth's representative. For the first 10 years after the Alliance contacted our planet, things were very bad. He sat down across from her, and Amanda could see the weight of responsibility in his eyes. The first representatives were politicians and generals. They made promises they couldn't keep. They tried to trick the aliens into giving us advanced weapons. Some of them even suggested that humans should conquer other planets. That sounds terrible, Amanda said. It was, Keanu continued. Several alien species wanted to cut off all contact with Earth. They said humans were too dangerous and selfish to be trusted. Earth was going to be kicked out of the Alliance permanently. But what changed? I did, Keanu said quietly. The aliens were studying human behavior through our movies and television. They wanted to understand how we think and feel. Most of what they saw convinced them that humans were violent and greedy. Carl joined the conversation. But then they saw Keanu's movies and interviews. They saw someone who was different. They noticed that I gave money to charities quietly, without asking for credit. They saw me helping strangers who were in trouble. They watched me treat everyone with respect, from famous directors to security guards. Keanu explained. So they contacted you? Yes, but not right away. First, they tested me for 3 years. They would send people to interact with me in normal situations. Sometimes they were disguised aliens. Sometimes they were humans working for the Alliance. They wanted to see if I was really as kind as I appear to be. Amanda realized something. Like how I treated you today? Keanu nodded. Exactly like that. How humans treat each other, especially when they think no one important is watching, tells the aliens a lot about our species. Did I fail the test? Amanda asked, feeling worried. You failed the first part, Keanu said honestly. But you passed the most important part. When you learned the truth, you felt sorry for your actions. You wanted to do better. That's what makes humans special. Special how? Most alien species don't change very much, Carl explained. They are what they are for thousands of years. But humans can learn and grow and become better than they were before. That's what keeps us in the Alliance. Keanu stood up and checked his watch. The meeting starts in 2 hours. I need to prepare my presentation. What will you tell them? Amanda asked. I'll tell them about you, Keanu said. About how a human who is rude and judgmental could become someone who wants to help save the world. I'll tell them that humans can change, and that's why we deserve another chance. Amanda felt the enormous weight of responsibility. The fate of humanity might depend on her story of learning to be better. Amanda sat quietly for a moment, thinking about everything she had learned. The weight of what Keanu had told her was sinking in. Her actions today will be part of a presentation that could determine Earth's future. Keanu, she said slowly, I need to ask you something. When you walked into the store today, did you know I would treat you badly? Keanu looked at her with those calm, understanding eyes. I hoped you wouldn't, but I suspected you might. So this was a test? Not exactly a test, Keanu said. But every interaction I have with humans becomes part of my understanding of our species. The aliens are always asking me questions about human behavior. They want to know if we're getting better or worse as a people. Carl pulled out a small device that looked like a tablet, but it was made of the same shimmering material as Keanu's suit. We keep records of these interactions, he explained, not to spy on people, but to show the aliens real examples of human behavior. Amanda felt sick to her stomach. So there's a record of how I treated Keanu? The aliens will see that. Yes, Keanu said gently. But Amanda, that's not a bad thing. What happened today is actually very important. How can it be important? I was horrible to you. Keanu sat down next to her. Let me explain something about alien thinking. Most species in the galaxy don't change much over time. A Zephyrian who is aggressive today will be aggressive in 100 years. A Centaurian who is peaceful now has been peaceful for thousands of years. But humans are different? Very different, Carl said. Humans can completely change their attitudes and behaviors. You can learn from mistakes and become better people. Most aliens find this confusing and sometimes frightening. Frightening? Amanda asked. Think about it, Keanu explained. If you were an alien who lived for thousands of years and you met a species that could change its personality in a single day, wouldn't that worry you? How could you make agreements with beings who might think completely differently tomorrow? Amanda began to understand. So some aliens think humans are unpredictable and dangerous because we can change. Exactly, Keanu said. But other aliens think our ability to change is wonderful. They believe it means humans can learn from mistakes and grow wiser over time. Carl showed Amanda the device in his hands. Tonight, Keanu will show the Galactic Council recordings of many human interactions. Some will show humans being selfish, violent, or cruel. Others will show humans being kind, generous, and brave. But the most important recordings, Keanu continued, are the ones that show humans changing. People who start out being bad, but become good. People who learn from their mistakes and choose to be better. Amanda realized what they were telling her. My story today is one of those recordings. Yes, Keanu said. You judged me unfairly because of how I looked. You were rude and dismissive. But when you learned the truth, you immediately felt sorry. You wanted to help. You wanted to be part of something bigger than yourself. That transformation, Carl added, is exactly what Keanu needs to show the Council. It proves that humans can grow and change when given the chance. Amanda felt overwhelmed. But what if it's not enough? What if the other aliens don't believe that humans can really change? Keanu was quiet for a moment. Then Earth will be removed from the Galactic Alliance. We'll lose all the protection and technology we've gained over the past 50 years. And if humanity ever becomes a threat to other worlds, there will be no one to speak for us. What would happen then? Other species would make their own decisions about what to do with Earth. Carl said grimly. Some might choose to isolate us completely. Others might decide we're too dangerous to be allowed to develop space travel. Amanda felt the enormous responsibility pressing down on her. Billions of people on Earth had no idea that their future depended on whether aliens believed humans could change for the better. Keanu, what can I do to help? There must be something. Keanu smiled, and for the first time since she had met him, he looked truly hopeful. Actually, there is something very important you can do. What? I want you to come with me to the meeting. Amanda's eyes went wide. What? I can't meet aliens. I'm just a regular person who sells suits. That's exactly why you need to be there, Keanu said. You're not a politician or a scientist or a leader. You're a normal human being who made a mistake and learned from it. You're living proof that humans can change. Carl nodded in agreement. The council needs to see that ordinary humans are capable of growth, not just special people like Keanu. Amanda felt terrified and excited at the same time. She was going to help save the world. Amanda's hands were shaking as Carl helped her put on a special suit similar to Keanu's. The material felt strange against her skin, warm and cool at the same time. She could feel tiny vibrations running through the fabric. The suit will protect you and help you breathe in the meeting space, Carl explained. Some of the aliens need different air than humans. The suit will make sure you're comfortable. Where exactly are we going? Amanda asked. There's a hidden facility under the city, Keanu said. It's been there since the 1950s. The meeting room is designed to accommodate beings from many different worlds. They took an elevator that Amanda had never seen before, hidden behind a wall in the store's basement. The elevator went down much farther than seemed possible. When the doors opened, Amanda stepped into a corridor that looked like something from a science fiction movie. The walls glowed with soft light, and the air hummed with energy. Other people in similar suits were walking to the corridors, some carrying strange devices, others speaking in languages Amanda had never heard. Are those all humans? She whispered to Keanu. Mostly, he replied. Earth representatives, scientists, and translators. But some of them are aliens who look similar to humans. They entered a large circular room with seats arranged in a spiral pattern. At the center was a raised platform where Keanu would make his presentation. Around the room, Amanda could see beings that were definitely not human. Some looked like tall, elegant people with silver skin and large eyes. Others were covered in what looked like living crystals that changed color as they moved. A few beings seemed to be made of light itself, shifting and flowing in their seats. Amanda tried not to stare, but it was impossible not to be amazed. The silver ones are Centaurians, Keanu whispered. They've been our strongest supporters. The crystal beings are Andromedans. They haven't decided if they support us or not. What about the light beings? Zephyrians. They're the ones who want Earth removed from the Alliance. A deep sound filled the room, like a bell ringing underwater. Everyone became quiet. Keanu walked to the center platform. His voice was calm and confident as he began to speak, but Amanda could see the tension in his shoulders. Honored members of the Galactic Council, he said, I come before you today to speak for humanity. I know many of you have concerns about my species. You have seen our wars, our greed, our capacity for destruction. One of the light beings spoke, its voice sounding like wind through trees. Humans have shown repeatedly that they cannot be trusted. They break agreements, fight among themselves, and seek to dominate others. I do not deny these things, Keanu replied, but I ask you to consider something unique about humans. We have the ability to change. He activated a device, and images appeared in the air above the platform. Amanda saw recordings of human history, both terrible and beautiful moments. Other species in this council are wise and stable. Keanu continued, but humans are different. We can learn from our mistakes. We can become better than we were. The light being spoke again. How can we trust a species that changes? How do we know you will not become worse instead of better? This was Keanu's moment. He gestured toward Amanda. I brought someone with me today to show you what I mean. Amanda, please join me. Amanda's legs felt weak as she walked the platform. Hundreds of alien eyes were watching her. This morning, Amanda treated me poorly because she judged me by my appearance, Keanu said. She was rude and dismissive. But when she learned the truth about who I was and what was at stake, she immediately changed her behavior. She felt sorry for her actions and wanted to help. He showed the council recordings of their interaction at the store, from Amanda's initial rudeness to her growing understanding and desire to help. This is what makes humans special, Keanu said. We can recognize our mistakes and choose to be different. Amanda went from someone who judged others unfairly to someone willing to risk everything to help save her world. The crystal beings changed color, shifting from red to blue. Amanda later learned this meant they were interested. In one day, this ordinary human transformed herself. Keanu continued, "Imagine what humanity could become in 100 years or 1,000 years, if given the chance to keep growing." The council deliberated for what felt like hours. Finally, the Centaurian ambassador spoke. "The council has decided Earth will remain in the alliance, but humanity will be watched carefully. You must prove that this capacity for positive change is real and lasting." Amanda felt tears in her eyes as Keanu smiled and nodded to the council. Later, as they returned to the store, Keanu turned to Amanda. "Thank you. You may have just saved our world." Amanda looked up at the stars visible through the store window. Now she knew Earth was not alone, and she had played a part in keeping it safe. From that day forward, every customer who entered Meridian Tailors was treated with respect and kindness. Amanda had learned that you never know who might walk through your door or how your actions might change the world.